Okay, this is what we read on London Real. I'm coming at you from San Francisco. That was Alcatraz right there in the background. Don't worry, I'm coming back to London very soon, but I wanted to hit you with my choice for book of the week before I took a flight back. And this one is a book that really means a lot to me and has meant a lot with me. And I had the pleasure of interviewing the author on London Real. So let's get straight to it. The book I'm referring to is, and I've got it locked in here at Amazon now, Key Person of Influence. And let me see if I can get myself in there. So with that, it's written by Daniel Priestley, and it's a fantastic methodology of thinking about how you can become a key person of influence in your industry and how that's crucial if you want to be the guy that gets the phone calls and has the amazing partnerships and the speaking engagements and where things just kind of happen to you, tickets show up at your door, that kind of thing. And we all can be a key person of influence in our own respective micro niche, as Daniel calls it. And we all have one, and it could be that you're, what's a good example? It could be that you're a Peruvian immigrant in San Francisco that likes to make wooden shoes. And so that could be your micro niche, and you could be the best person at that. You could be the guy that goes to all the Peruvian shoe events and speaks and all that stuff. And if you raise your profile, then you will be the one that Nike comes to when they want to make their shoe, and you're the guy. So I just pulled that one right out. But that is an example, and in that he has the 5 Ps. And when I was reading this book over the course of the last couple of months, I just found them really resonating with everything that I'm doing at London Real. So this is really important. And the first P is pitch. Is your pitch good enough? I spent a night the other day at Microsoft Ventures, which is at Central Working in Whitechapel, and I hosted one of the nights where they have some of their tech startups in their accelerator pitch at the end of the night, or present what they learned at the accelerator. And I asked each company, each founder about their company, and they had their pitch down like that, like 40 seconds. So when someone asks you what you do, can you tell them concisely in a way after 45 seconds or a minute? It really makes them want to ask you questions, or do their eyes glaze over and they go like, oh, okay, that's nice. And if they don't, you need to keep practicing your pitch until it's pow, because there is no product or company or success without a pitch. Same with London Real, same with everything. And don't get me wrong, I've been working on my pitch or reworking on my pitch, when I tell people about my show, and it's something that's never ending. You always need to hone it and get better. And so that's the first P of the 5 Ps. After that is publish. We all need to publish something, and ideally that would be a book. It could be a blog, or it could be what I do as far as podcasts and things like that, but you need to publish. And so in Daniel's book, he encourages people to write a book, quite simply. And so quite frankly, I'm going to be doing that this year. The third one is product. At some point, you need to create a product that you can sell. And a lot of people think that, just because they're a high-profile person, they have no product. They're like, oh, well, I'm a doctor who knows a lot about blah, 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 but I don't have a product per se. I just sell my time to people. But you will and you can find a product. And so the idea is to find something that you can add value to and charge money. And for me, quite frankly, that is now the London Real Academy. And there'll be future live events like we had recently with Dan Pena at the Ritz, and we're going to have a couple more events this year. And that is a way that people can get more London Real. They can get more depth. They can watch our shows live, for example, on the Academy. They can hear my webinars. They can find the extra bonus content of Daniel Priestley during my interview with him that no one else gets to see. And so you can create a product around you. So that's something you need to be thinking about. The fourth P is profile. You need to raise your profile to where many more people can see you, people can access you. What happens when people Google search you? Do they go to your website, or they go to some other guy with your name? So that's important. And finally, your partnerships. The one that always springs to mind is partnerships happen to the key people of influence. So my perfect example that springs to mind is Dre. When Beats Electronics, and I think it was Michael Oving, wanted to approach someone, who did he call? He called Dr. Dre, because Dr. Dre has been a key person of influence in his industry for the past 25 years. And so when it came to that, Dre got the phone call, and it wasn't because he knew a lot about headphones. It was because he was the guy. He was the person of influence that was going to make this product rock. And so if you already have that profile and everything else, then you will get that phone call. And you could argue that for example, Dan Pena at the Ritz, I got the phone call because we were part of London Real and we had a profile and we put the event on together. So this is all crucial, and one of the things I love about Daniel is there's an infographic of Richard Branson on his website, which I believe is Key Person of Influence, or you can go to danielpriestley.com. And it says, what does Richard Branson do? Well, quite frankly, he pitches. He's always pitching ideas and getting ideas pitched to him. He's always pitching new ideas. Publishes. He publishes constantly. That guy writes a book every year or two. So, and he's Richard Branson. Does he need to? Well, maybe he does. Products. He's always coming up with new products, new ideas, new services, new ways to package things. Profile. He's always raising his profile. Articles in the Times, articles here and there. He came up in one of my YouTube ads the other day for Pitch to Rich. And finally, partnerships. He is the king of doing JVs, whether it's charity work or other businesses. And that is Branson. So if you're not Branson, you should be looking at what he does. And if you've never, even pitched yourself or published yourself, you need to get on that train. And so my interview with Daniel, which is coming up soon, is fantastic. I really like Daniel. He's also got a new book called Oversubscribed, which is what people that have, that are key persons of influence, they can do because their products are oversubscribed by definition. Our live event with Dan Pena was oversubscribed by 5 times. We had to really choose the people we wanted, and the Academy is also oversubscribed. So you get to where you have something that a lot of people want, and you just want to have the right people in. And so you want to build your business so it is that way. So I'm a big fan of this. I'm going to be going even deeper and with some action items for you to take to raise your profile and become a key person of influence over at the Academy. So if you're a member there, go now. I've just dropped a new video over there as far as how you can raise your own personal game and how you can be accountable back to the Academy, and a few steps I want you to take in the next 2 weeks to jack up all of these pieces. But for the rest of you, I highly recommend this book well, both books, and of course watch the episode for free on London Real. It's amazing. So big thanks to Daniel Priestley and for pushing me or making me realize that I need to write this book, and I'm going to write this fabulous book. I'm so excited. I won't tell you the name of it yet, but I think you're going to love it. And so I'm going to get to work doing that and to continue with those 5 Ps because I think they're really crucial. And the more people I talk to, the more people I realize that this is what they need to do. And it's a great, great start. And I wish someone had told me this a long time ago, quite frankly. But I was lucky enough to meet Daniel at one of the tech events based on Shoreditch for my other show, Silicon Reel. I met him on a ski trip, and then boom, 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 we had him on the show. So big thanks to you, Daniel. You're inspiring a generation, and I hope everyone takes some action items. Really think about where you are and think about raising your profile. And if you're thinking book, I can never write a book. Well, why not? Seriously, why not? Who says you can't? Think about something that only you know about. One other thing that Daniel says in this book is we all have IP. We all have intellectual property that we don't think about. Quite honestly, before my TED Talk, I thought my story from banker to broadcaster, how I left millions to inspire millions online, was kind of normal. And when I do my talk, everyone's like, wow, Brian, that's really exceptional. So we all have our own IP, intellectual property, that we don't think about. You might have a very interesting story. You do have an interesting story based on your life, and there's a certain number of people, perhaps your 1,000 true fans, that want to hear more about your story. So there you go. That's my book for this week. I'm going to call this What I Read or What We Read, because I want us to all start reading these books. So we're going to rename this series What We Read. Like I said, for the next action item, go over to the Academy, and I'll be dropping that video, and I expect you to be sending me everything you're going to do to raise your profile and ideally publish this year. And for the bonus content for this episode with Daniel Priestley, that's on the Academy as well, is fantastic. I was asking him his daily success secrets, exactly how he goes about doing ventures, raising money, everything. So it's fabulous. Anyways, big love from San Francisco. It's about the journey. Please click on the button and subscribe. Leave me your comments below. Let me know if this was helpful, if you liked it, if you think it's all a bunch of nonsense, if you like my hair, if you like San Francisco. That's Alcatraz, by the way. Isn't that crazy? I'll be coming back here a lot. I've re-fallen in love with California. It's all about NorCal. Nick Diaz represent. I'm with you, brothers. And I'm going to come back here more often. I love